Hello everyone. Today we're gonna talk about the craziest and the most dangerous female characters from Grim and Evil. Here is my top 10. On number 10, we have Malaria, who starts screaming out of the blue in a diner faking her death, making Grim, who was already dead, wanting to die from shame. Malaria has her own craziness, but she can be lovable and doesn't represent a danger to society. Malaria liked Grim, but apparently she's too afraid of dark forces and couldn't handle the idea of dating the real Grim Reaper, despite having feelings for him. Grim and Malaria were made for each other and represent one of the best couples on the series. On number 9, we have Mindy. We see Mindy having mental issues ever since she was a child for being interrupted while talking. She's been holding a grudge about that ever since and has been hating and targeting Mandy. She wants to be a leader. She's bossy and a master of manipulation and blackmail. Number 8. Miss Butterbean, the teacher. She hates kids and shows only disgust when talking to them or whenever they ask for help, and she loves giving them hard tests, but lets Spurg bribe her with apples. She's the type of teacher who wouldn't bother saving her class during a fire. On number 7, we have Aunt Sis, who's too chill for her own good, falling in love with the red flag monster who took her to the center of the earth and allowed her son, Nurgle Jr., to kidnap Spurg, a kid, and keep him in a cage as a pet, which is messed up.
And I have tons of new friends, and I graded all the tests.
Why, they've already gotten grading papers. Just for that, you get to keep your new pet.
All right! Here, boy!
Number 6. We have the Mandy doll, also called the new Mandy, who was built from Billy's toys and brought to life by Grim. She's obsessed with playing games and possessive over her friends. Although she's not evil, and she can be friendly if you played with her, she can throw fits and get angry if she gets ignored, and sometimes she plays too rough. And like any other evil things Grim had brought to life, this version of Mandy can be dangerous, since it doesn't need sleep and just watches over you all night. Billy survived the night though. Number 5. Mandy's mom. Mandy's mom, named Claire, is one of the most mentally stable female characters from the show. However, she's too submissive and afraid to tell off Mandy. She suffers from anxiety and is traumatized by her own daughter, leading to paranoia and hiding from her in the closet. She bows and treats Mandy like a dictator goddess just to get spared. She isn't dangerous, but does everything Mandy tells her to do, including releasing her army on the streets of Ennsville that could lead to disaster and people dying.
It's time to create chaos with the apple!
On number 4, we have Eris, the goddess of chaos, who loves causing trouble on Earth, until Billy made her go crazy and paranoid, and even scared of the word chaos in just one day. She appeared again after that, but caused less trouble than usual, and even pretended to be Billy's mother and acted more civilized as best as she could. On 3rd place, we have Mandy, who is the equivalent of Wednesday Addams and General Scar, hungry for power and dominance. Everyone needs to obey her demands and uses her own parents as slaves. She wanted her heart cut out for feeling love and made monsters from the underworld and dangerous people on Earth fear her. Mandy is evil, but she's more collected and a strategist. While Mandy isn't explicitly diagnosed as a sociopath, Many fans and analyses of her character suggest she exhibits many sociopathic traits, such as being sadistic, unsympathetic, narcissistic, and power-hungry. She's also selfish for destroying events like Valentine's Day prom just because she doesn't enjoy it. She doesn't want to have physical contact of any kind with anyone. Number 2. Major Dr. Ghastly. She showed her obsession for Hector even though he's just a brain without a body, and somehow in the future she manages to conceive a child with the power of love, even though Hector was confused how that happened. We saw Ghastly being short-tempered, but having bad aim with the gun. She builds deadly weapons just to please Hector, and she turns crazy when jealous, meaning she would kidnap or kill out of jealousy and obsession.
Chief? She doesn't love you, Chief! I love you! Why can't you just love me? Why?
Her goal is to please Hector and help him conquer the world in order for him to fall in love with her. She builds and does everything Hector tells her, this making her incredibly dangerous, especially that she was proven being slightly crazy and perfect for a crazy scientist who would become a mad scientist if provoked. She can build and fire various weapons, even though her aim isn't good all the time.
I just can't believe that you would even create something so destructive. Have you forgotten everything I taught you?
I do feel guilty most of the time. Oh well. Guards!
How could you do such a thing? When did you become so evil?
And to answer that question, I am responsible for that.
She's helping Hector, who wants to conquer the world, and also having General Scar on the team, who wants to dominate in Hector's place. She develops some sociopathic tendencies from Hector, and although she shows empathy and a bubbly personality, she turns into the opposite if provoked, making her one of the most dangerous female characters from Grim and Evil. And on number 1, we have none other than Gladys, Billy's mom. Mandy didn't fear Gladys at first, but her mental state became worse with each episode that Mandy knew when to go home or run for cover. Mandy is calculated, but Gladys is too far gone to control her emotions anymore. When did Gladys become insane though? She's been married to Harold for a long time, and he would drive just about anyone crazy, and if we add Billy, then we have 2 Harolds to deal with. However, her insanity reached the peak the moment she started to suspect that Billy was turning into a skeleton, after spotting Grim inside the house. After her many cases of paranoia, Harold not believing her and Grim always appearing in front of her made Gladys lose her mind.
A skeleton?
But I saw...
Did someone forget to take their medicine today? Skeleton, sheesh.
Harold called his sister to take Gladys away for a week to relax. However, what we weren't told was that Aunt Sis took Gladys to a mental institution for a week, not to her own home, unless Aunt Sis was also a psychiatrist. The result was that Gladys returned home full of rage and having more mental issues than before. She accepted the fact that there really is a skeleton in her home, and it was up to her to protect Billy.
Foolish mortal! I don't think you know who I am. Let me give you a hint.
She fought Grim and won mostly because Grim thought it was not necessary to kill her. After winning against Grim, she removed his skull and laughed like a maniac. Gladys even found Mandy annoying and told Harold to send her home. That aside, eventually Billy's parents accepted Grim into the house, but Gladys did hit Grim for various reasons, in case he laid his elbow on the table, for example. However, after Grim turned into a human, he managed to make everyone lust after him, including Gladys, who was giving him everything that belonged to Harold. She didn't know that was Grim, however. Grim apparently liked helping Gladys in the kitchen as she began flirting with him, being spotted by Harold, who punched Grim out of jealousy. Gladys' mental state is worse than Aries and Ghastly's because she kept getting worse with each episode, and we didn't get to see her final form. She's capable to set her own house on fire at this point. Thank you for watching.